Hello guys, today's our topic is the carbonate petrography and the foraminifera, the analysis of the uh, Eocene rocks from my study area Pirkoh section. So this is my study area in which you can see from the younger to older rock strata from the Habibrahi, Dumanda, Pirkoh, Razinda to Siwalix rocks. So my study area is located in the double plunging incline in which the Eocene rock are exposed in the limb side, but in center side or the hinge side, the Dungan formation Paleocene rock is exposed. This is the 3D model of my study area. What about the in my area, which rocks are exposed? So, firstly, we see the calcium, magnesium, iron carbonate triangle diagram. So, most of the time, my this in this triangle diagram, calcium, magnesium, iron system. Most of the rock, aragonite, calcite, these rocks or minerals are present in my rock, but dolomite is also present, but after deposition, after the diagenesis, the dolomite is present. Calcite and aragonite precipitation, it depends of various factor. For example, temperature, like if there is high temperature in equatorial side, most of the precipitation of the aragonite, but sidewise the calcite precipitation will be more. It depends upon the dissolution of carbon dioxide. High dissolution means high preservation of the carbonate or rock. Magnesium calcium ratio is also depend. For example, high calcium magnesium ratio shows which not grow the calcite crystal which inhibit the calcite growth. So the aragonite and high magnesium calcite precipitation will be more easily. Low magnesium calcium ratio means it favor the calcite precipitation, but high calcium magnesium ratio it favor the aragonite precipitation. The another thing which whenever we study the carbonate rock, so we classify according to Dunham classification. Mudstone, you know, the 10% less than grain, 10% more is the wakestone, and grain supported more than 10% is bakestone, and the high energy environment is the grainstone, in which the calcite precipitation is occur or sparse calcite is occur, but the grains are no mud is occur in the grainstone, and another is fully organically, which is boundstone. So these are the books which can study the petrography of the carbonate rock under the microscope. Uh, the limestone classification now briefly explain mudstone in which grain are not touches, so it shows the low energy environment which is mudstone. So mud supported it divides into two, mudstone and wakestone. In mudstone, you can see 90% is more than magnetic. This is my study area. The thin section one is ZD81 from the Pirkoh formation Eocene rock. uh, then another is the wakestone, which is more than 10% grains, but it's still mud supported, but the grain are not touches. So this is we call it wakestone. Then we go to grainstone, in which we divide it into the grain supported pegstone and grainstone. uh, like in this you can see this is the pegstone, which is still mud present but the grain are touching. So in this pegstone we have more than 10% grain but grain are touching. Then we go to the grainstone, in which grains are not grain are touching to each other, but there is no macrite, and it show very high energy kind of setting. So in my area, like my rocks are all are siltstone, limestone, but low energy environment, so no greenstone. But in Pakistan we see the greenstone in the southern Pakistan Chiltan formation, in which you can see the pillars, ooids. So how what is the difference between ooids and pilloids? So pilloids is the micrite outer part, where the arrangement of the outer surface is not regularly, but the ooid, the outer surface arrangement is very regularly. and the center is the nucleus, in which it contains quartz, shell fragment, pelloids, or other carbonate grain. But inside, no nucleus, irregular grain uh, in the micrite mud, carbonate rich. We have pellet pelloid. Pellet means the uh, micrite grains or organism waste which can be originally known, but when there is no known what is the micrite or where is this carbonate mud is come from, so we call it pelloid. Most of the are pelloid because sometimes we don't know about the origin of the carbonate mud. Then this is also the grainstone, interclastic grainstone, in which you can see the interclass, which you can see benthiforum, and which you can see calcite vein, brachiopods, and you can see the poor sorting because of the high energy settings. So we call this, and we also see the stylite. We also see the blocky cement, in which they represent a very high kind of energy setting. Then we go to the foraminifera side. So in Eocene rocks, we mostly see the forams. So that's why now we just discuss the foraminifera. Foraminifera is the single cell marines protested. They make the shell test, and this shell mostly are calcium carbonate chamber arranged during the growth. Aperture in which is the main. This is the main. Actually, this is the some feature which is used in the forum. So it's mainly describe pseudobota is the hair-like in which they move, feed, or attach onto the seafloor, mostly the benthiform. Size, it mostly the size is less than 1 millimeter in size, but some are much larger, reaching up to 20 centimeter. This is the foraminifera test of the ECM image. Then we have benthic, which is the stuck in the seafloor, and then planta, which is the free dweller in the open ocean. This is the 50,000 species recognized, in which 40,000 are fossil, 10,000 living, and 40,000 are planktonic. The benthiforum, they live inside the seafloor. You can see in which whenever there is high eutrophic zone, neutron zone, so oxygen will be less. When there is low, oxygen will be high. So that's why you can see the very deep infernal text size is here. Then foraminifera is very important because it shows the age. You can see the for nummulites, and the for the nummulites it shows the Eocene rock. For the fissionate in Pakistan, it shows the the Paleozoic age. Then it shows the water depth or platform setting. For example, benthiforum shows the shallow marine planktonic form, the open ocean, or when there when you see these black spots which is pyrite, it show the deep environment anoxic condition. Energy is also, for example, you see the broken fragment shows the high energy kind of setting, or you can see the greenstone, they also show the high energy condition. Salinity, if you see the millolith, it shows the lagoon environment in which high salinity. When you see the LBF, it shows the marine environment, mostly the inner shell, outer shell like this. Oxygen, whenever you see the black, it's poor sorting, poor oxygen, pyritization, in which you see the LBF like nummulites. In the transaction section, you can see the good oxygen. So oxygen, it also shows to the forum. Classification forums based on the kingdom, subkingdom, you can see. And benthic forum can be sexually and asexually. Sexually, it produce the gametes, they fertilize and form a zygote. But in asexually, they shows the adult in which daughter nuclei is forming, and they release one by one, in which every one is they forming the growth and young foraminifera. But in planktonic, mostly the sexual reproduction. Growth in chamber. Um, the first apparatus will first chamber will be the proculus, then new chamber is added, and which soft living body is present in protopods. After that, the calcareous shell is forming, and the previous will which is aperture is open is foramen. Schematic diagram, you can see the forum schematic diagram. Every feature have different function. You can see step by step. It's very basics, 9 class biological. So test mineralization, actually in forums you can see these amino acid, they attract the calcium, and calcium attract the calcium carbonate, and they forming calcium carbonate, which is the test of the calcium carbonate calcite. Function of test, you can see the first physical stress, biological stress, chemical stress. It accommodates the stresses. Additional function is also like cytoplasm, or they live in the ocean, safe from the tests. They, for the benthic forum and for the plantar forum, the shell is giving the addition. Another is the test composition.